Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Righteous Force, 10th Man, Chocolate Sane, Paul Hall and Quantum Eraser, along with a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome one and all.
Good morning.
Very good Friday morning.
Good morning. QE's up early this morning.
Happy Friday the 13th.
How's it?
think
It's
that's
Friday the
up.
13th. Might get some Jason Voorhees reruns.
Can we already tell somebody to shut up?
Kiwi's up early because chocolate
possibly.
milk was served early.
Good morning, Arwin.
Oh,
Friday for those of you watching live, Saturday for those of you watching on Nathan Oakley 1980. Let's do some housekeeping. Any signs of a physical, geometric Earth curve edge?
No.
No, sorry.
No, but I've been trying to use the refraction
Teaching.
simulator to find it, and I've yet to find it.
Hey, Bev.
Teaching otherwise. Oh, I've got an echo there. Teaching otherwise is apparently child abuse, if you didn't know.
Teaching otherwise of what?
Earth curve.
Oh, saying there isn't any Earth curve.
Yeah. Teaching children that level is a straight line on a horizontal plane is child abuse, apparently.
According to who?
Like flat Earth.
According to
Yeah.
Fight the Flat Earth. Is he
Yeah.
suddenly the education secretary in this country now?
He's making public statements that that's the case. Yeah.
He's a retard. Certifiable.
I would agree with him.
Oh, no.
That he's a retard.
I bet you
And here we
Wow,
go.
Brenda. Serious Brenda.
He said he's a retard, and Brenda said I would agree with him.
Yeah.
Well, you're
Well,
thinking
yeah,
he's
we-
a retard isn't the salient fact. I do think
Very, very
teaching
dumb.
children flat Earth would amount to child abuse. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
You're
Yeah.
a retard.
Yeah.
nice. He's like back in his
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just say,
destroyed you in
Brenda?
every
You're a
debate.
retard.
So Brenda, you're just as big of a piece of
Ed
shit as
Hans-
Fight the Flat Earth then.
No need.
That's
No
what you're
need.
saying?
Hold on. We haven't heard the reasons. Why, Brenda? Why?
Because you're handicapping their future education and preventing them from understanding the world around them. Flat Earth.
Flat
destroys
Earth
people's-
you're a retard.
Hold on.
That's what
Sorry,
your problem
sorry.
is.
Besides a baseless assertion, what have you actually got to justify that statement, Brenda?
I just told you, teaching children lies is abusive to them.
It's not a lie.
It
Well,
neglects.
Brenda,
Which lie?
you said it restricts their understanding of the world. That's what you said. It limits their education. You said.
Yes.
So can you expand on this?
It's a lie.
Yeah, I heard that. So I'm hoping you'll expand on your description that it limits their capability of understanding the world and limits their education. Can you explain those two, please?
Yes, because you're teaching them falsehoods about the world and bad reasoning, bad science. So
Oh, come on. For
limits their
instance, you don't
ability
even know
to
what science
understand.
is. Give us a for instance.
Yeah, exactly. Can you qualify these statements with an example rather than a baseless
Can I
assertion?
Yeah, can I just state that it was level is a straight line on a horizontal plane. That was where Brenda jumped in, saying that that was child abuse. Is that right, Brenda?
Well, that would be a bad definition.
A bad definition? What do you mean? It's just a definition.
Level
look it up
means
in the-
perpendicular
They could look it up
to
in their
the
English
surface
class.
of the earth.
They could look it up in English
That's what
class.
level means.
Doesn't.
They're going to get to respond to her.
Yeah,
They
Go
could
ahead.
look at. Let's try for the 6th time. They could look it up in their English class, so I don't understand how this is a qualification for it in any way limiting their understanding of the world or limiting their ability to be educated. It doesn't qualify that statement in any way, shape, or form, Brenda. So far, big fat fail for your baseless assertion.
because like you, for instance, you can't understand the difference between concepts and the things that concepts refer to, because you are conceptually crippled by your belief in the flat Earth.
Sorry, why is this turned into a
Yeah, you're
description?
mentally crippled.
Sorry, I don't need to hear it 4 more times. I heard. So why is this turned into an ad hominem attack on me, rather than a description of how this would in any way qualify as child abuse or limit the education capacity of a child or diminish their ability to be educated? You haven't qualified that.
because
at all.
it cripples the child intellectually.
That's another baseless assertion. You haven't given us a for instance.
What do you mean, for instance?
Well, Bev's given you a qualification for why this statement's been made. He's given you... You're going to need to talk without interruption, Brenda. When you talk through me, it demonstrates you're not listening. You've asked a question that I'm attempting to answer. So try and be patient and not talk when I talk. Thank you. So Bev's given you a qualification for the justification by your own side to claim child abuse. He gave you a specific example about defining level. Now, after that example, you've spewed out a few more baseless assertions and attacked me personally. So that doesn't qualify a lack of ability to be educated at all.
Okay, are you finished now?
Yeah, we want an example. Support your claims. Don't be a
Well,
village idiot.
Well, if you teach your children the basic concepts that you teach about flat Earth, that child will be intellectually crippled.
Like
because they
what?
will
It's
lack
another baseless assertion.
They will-
Brenda, I'm going to kick you out if you just keep
That
spewing
gravity-
baseless... Stop talking. Stop. I'm talking. The host. That means you're not. So, Brenda, you've just continually spewed baseless assertions without giving any cowbell, any qualification, a for instance, in quantum erasers terms. So we'd need you to actually back what you're saying with an example. I've tried to help you along with Bev's example because he gave a specific detailed description of level and then was told that would be child abuse if you told it to children. Your response to that was, that's a bad definition. Because, like, in the dictionary, they're going to have bad and good written above these definitions? No, that's nonsensical. So you're yet to qualify your baseless assertions and you're making more. And then attacking me personally. So, do you have anything, Brenda, or is this the end? Can we move on with other housekeeping questions and accept that this is definitely not child abuse beyond the baseless assertions of village idiots that don't qualify their claims?
Well, an example then, a qualification of the claim, would be teaching children that gravity, it doesn't exist, cripples them intellectually because gravity does exist. It is a fact that everybody knows.
Okay, can you show it me,
Teaching
please?
children that- teaching
Sorry,
children-
this is a debatable subject. So, can you show me gravity if it exists, please? I'd like to qualify it by holding it.
Yeah, gravity is the effect. It's a phenomenon, which is the effect of mass curving space-time.
Sorry, space-time is a conceptual medium. We went through this yesterday. Eventually, you talked through me at nausea and I had to eject you because you wouldn't accept that you had reified the convention described by Einstein. You refused to accept that that was a reification on your part.
Yeah, because it isn't. What do you mean by conceptual medium? What does that phrase mean?
It means that a medium would be something you can put stuff into in physical terms, and conceptual means it only exists in your mind. So it's a medium that only exists in your mind. You're feeding back, QE.
We've got-
It's conceptual,
Well, that's
Brenda.
that's the wrong definition of medium. A medium isn't like a thing that you can put stuff into. That's not what medium means.
I'm more concerned with the conceptual bit.
Yeah, can you have concepts about things, Nathan?
Yeah, yes, you can have a concept about what a car is, but then I can actually show you a physical actual car. You can't show me a physical actual gravity because it only exists as a concept. It's a conceptual medium. Space-time is conceptual. It doesn't actually exist. There is no actual space-time. Time itself is a concept. So you're never going to show me space-time. And yesterday when we discussed this, you said it's all around you. And I explained, like love. Love can be described as being all around you. But it's just a concept. I can't give you some love. It's a metaphor if you want to describe touching somebody as giving them love. Because love is a concept. Like space-time. I can't put a bow around it and present it to somebody. I can't present love. I can't present space-time. It's a concept. Simple.
Can you behave in a loving manner towards somebody? Say, for instance,
Did I not just say this literally 10 seconds ago? I described that metaphor. I just did.
Yeah.
Am I nuts?
Yeah.
Did I literally not just say that 10 seconds ago? That would be a metaphor. It's not an actualization of love. It's a metaphorical description of being, in your now vernacular, loving. Right, but that's not a box of love. I can't weigh it. I can't qualify it in any way, shape or form. The only qualification I can give is for the physical interaction. And you can describe that as love by metaphor, but it's not. It's a concept. Like freedom.
It's not a concept, it's an emotion. And you can behave in a loving manner
Hey, knucklehead.
towards the people.
Knucklehead, retard, Brenda. What he's trying to tell you is you can't physically manipulate a concept. Space-time is a concept. You can't bend it or dilate it. Do you get it?
Space-time is a concept that refers to an actual physical reality.
Oh, really? What's
which
the
you
physical
can
reality?
manipulate. Space, and time, which is duration.
Extension into okay. Show us a box of each.
Yeah, any particle you can measure extension. Get a
Oh,
ruler,
no. Show
and
us.
you can measure. Get a ruler and
Show us.
measure extension. You can measure
Show
the
us.
width.
I want to see you bending time.
You can
I
bend
want to see
time
her
by
measure
traveling.
measure time. How about that with a
Yes,
ruler?
measurement. You measure time with
ruler, Brenda.
clocks. Time.
Really?
What do clocks
So we
measure?
measure
What
a
do clocks
football
measure?
field by a yardstick. So if I bend the yardstick, does the football field bend also?
If you travel at light speeds, then
you're traveling. At
the
light
measurement
speed
will
down
be
the
different.
drain. Is this scientific evidence?
So this is elementary
is
relativity.
this scientific evidence?
Yes.
Oh, give me a moment.
So clocks measure time, yardsticks measure space. Those are real things. They're not imaginary. You can have concepts about real things. You can have concepts about real things, but that doesn't mean that you're reifying
Nathan,
those
can
concepts.
you see my screen? And live?
It's not working for me, Kiwi.
It's not working?
There's nothing coming up. The join stream's coming up on Discord, but there's no screen coming up.
Nathan, can you see my screen?
No, it's not working this end.
All right. I'll jump out. I'll jump in the hangout. All right.
Right. So do you understand now, Nathan, that you can have concepts that refer to things? Space is extension. It's measured with yardsticks. Time is duration. It's measured with clocks.
Right. So how do you now
Hold on,
measure
Owen.
space-time? Because it is kind of a singular
just one
thing.
second, Owen.
in
I'm
that
holding my
conceptual
tongue.
realm.
I'm holding my tongue because QE's grabbed the reins. He's just swapping servers. Okay.
Yeah,
I've
well,
got-
there's a pause. So
I've got you
All
on.
right,
you can
there's
measure.
not a pause.
Sorry, Brenda.
So,
Brenda.
Einstein gravity. Go ahead, Nathan.
That's it. I'm just trying to get control. Go ahead.
So, Einsteinian gravity. We want scientific evidence for that. Natural phenomena observed, please.
Einsteinian general relativity postulates that
Natural
gravity
phenomena
is
observed, please.
is caused.
Don't
bend-
give me general relativity. Natural phenomena observed, please. We're going to scientifically validate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Natural phenomena
The
observed,
phenomena
please.
that we observe is the bending of space-time. That's the
No, can you
actual-
show it us then, please? Can you show us that?
Yeah, that was in the Eddington experiment in
No.
1909.
Brenda. We're not at experiment stage. Right, so I don't want to hear about experiment. We just want to hear about the phenomena. Now, in physics, it deals with the physical. Things that actually exist. Physical things. Now, mathematics deals with the abstract. Not physical. Abstractions. Now, we want to know, first and foremost, what's the actual thing we're dealing with. I dealt with it yesterday when I asked you to show me space-time and you failed and just told me it was all around me like love. So now we're asking what we can actually see, and your natural phenomena is something that's conceptual. Bending of space-time. I can't bend time. Neither can you. You're not a Time Lord. You're not Doctor Who. None of us are going to be bending this concept. It's not physical, so we can't bend it. But you've got a natural phenomena of bending conceptual mediums, which you can't do. So you're not going to show me anything that's space-time, and you're certainly not going to show me bending it. It's purely conceptual, purely mathematical, not real, not physical, not a natural phenomena. A concept, Brenda. That's why you can't show it me and I can't manipulate it in any way.
Yeah, we can. So one test of relativity was Eddington's 1919 experiment.
I've just
about,
said, first
the
step.
sun
Brenda,
deflecting.
stop. Right, the scientific method is set out very specifically. And the first step in the method is to observe a phenomena. The reason that's the first step is because the whole point of the process, the scientific method, is to elucidate the cause of an effect. An effect is a phenomena. So if you're going to try and figure out the cause of a phenomena, you first got to see a phenomena. I'm asking you where the phenomena is, and you're telling me about an experiment. Now that's step 3 in the method. It's you trying to vary and manipulate something you think caused the effect and seeing if it actually does. That's an experiment. We're not there yet. Second time I've said this. It's going to get tedious if I have to repeat it a third and fourth time. The first step is to observe a phenomena. You've said space-time, and like yesterday, I've pointed out that you can't show it me. You just said it's all around me. And I've said, no, it isn't like love, it's a concept. So we're not going to go to an experiment to extract out a phenomena. That's step 1. Experiment is step 3. So don't give me a phenomena from an experiment. That's not how the method works. Please don't bastardize science. Just give us the phenomena. Oh, what's that you haven't got space-time to show us? Because it's a concept. Yes, we've already gone through this, Brenda. You just refuse to accept it. Because it's your religious belief. So you must reify it in the face of us pointing out that you can't physically show it us.
Space is extension and time is duration.
Show it to
Space
us
is measured
or shut up. Show it to us.
You
or
can just
shut
measure anything
up.
around you, and it will have
Show it to
aspects
us.
of
I'm gonna
space
mute
and
your
time.
dumbass.
You put those two
Aspects of
ideas
Show
space
it
and
to us
time.
right
So
now.
I measure something and you're saying it's got aspects of space and time when I measure something with a ruler. So I measure something with a ruler, and then I've got to what? Reify the concept that has got aspects of space and time in it? Both mathematical constructs that aren't in physical existence? What, I've got to reify those things, have I, Brenda? Because you say so? Because you've got a religious belief that you reify? No, it's a concept, Brenda. That's why you can't show it us. And you're telling us about doing a measurement with a ruler and telling us about the concepts you reify in the form of space and time that are associated with making a measurement with a ruler. Now, there's no space-time involved enough I run a ruler down something. Space and time aren't in existence in physical terms. They're concepts.
Oh, do you agree that length and breadth exist, don't you?
Oh, yeah, Brenda, length and breadth. Sorry, we don't have
Those are
pseudo...
real?
I'm talking.
Those are real?
I'm talking. We don't have pseudo-Ramonian for space, length, breadth, depth, and time. So that would be your Einsteinian mathematic. Last chance. Talk over me again. I'm going to kick you out. That was the Einsteinian edition of time. A concept. So then we end up with bending of length, breadth, depth, and space-time. No, Brenda. It's conceptual, mathematical, invented by Einstein. Not real, not physical, not tangible. A concept.
You can measure a thing's length and breadth, and it persists
Just
in
kick her
time.
out.
Therefore, you're measuring its time. That's how
Really?
time is measured,
Okay.
by persistence.
How much time
By
is there?
persistence,
How much
it's
time?
duration.
How much time is there in a cubic meter, please, Brenda?
Cubic meter is space, not time.
Sorry, you just told me when I run a ruler down something, time and space are factors I would be considering because you told me to, because you reified those concepts. Now I'm asking you, given that you've told me specifically only 2 minutes ago that when measuring something, I will be factoring in space and time, according to you, you religious fundy zealot, how much time is in a cubic meter?
As much time as it takes you to measure it, because it doesn't blink out of existence.
So how much time there is in a cubic meter depends on how good you are with a tape measure. You're a fool.
No,
You're a complete retard.
That's not what I said.
That's what you just said. How long it takes you to measure it. So how swift I am with a tape measure is dictatorial to how much space-time there is in a cubic meter. You're insane.
The object you're measuring persists in time, does it not?
Sorry, how much time is there in that cubic meter? Yes or no?
If I measure my table, it persists in time.
And how much time is there in the volume of your table?
That's a non sequitur.
No shit! It's a fucking concept, you daft bitch! No fucking shit, it's a non sequitur. It's nonsensical because time's a concept and space-time has been reified by you batshit crazy idiots. So yeah, it's non sequitur, as the penny finally dropped, you stupid idiot.
I can measure the time portion of a table
Brenda, you've
by
already
measuring.
I'll go on then.
how
Go
long
on.
it
Go on then.
persists-
Go
how
on
long
then.
it
You can measure the
persists in
time. Get someone write that down as a quote. I can measure the time proportion of a table. How much time
Yes,
is there in a
yes.
table? You complete
I will
moron.
remember that, don't worry.
You never cease to deliver better and better idiot quotes,
know.
Brenda. Better and better stupidity every time
I
you
can
come
do
here.
that.
I can measure the amount of time in a table.
Yes, I can.
You complete retard. Do you have any idea how stupid you sound? You're just beyond stupid, Brenda. It's like, it's almost painful listening to you.
By noting that the table persists in time, I am
Time's a
measuring
concept.
its time.
Time's a concept. Time is a concept. So what, because it persists in your reification of time? What, and the qualification you'll give with a clock and its cogs moving? It's a concept.
So let me explain this. So if I say the table is in the kitchen and how it's been there for 3 days, I can give you the spatial component, which is length, breadth, and height, and the time component, component, which it's been there for 3 days.
What, you
That's how you measure
arbitrarily
space.
assigned how much it spent in your kitchen rather than Home Depot, and that's how much space time it's got? You complete moron. You think that your arbitrary assignment of its time value is how much space time it's got? You thick. Like, literally, you're telling us how you square the circle by acquiring a table, and then the length of time it spends in your vicinity is its quantity of space-time based on its physical dimensions and duration in your presence. You complete retard.
That's what science is, Nathan. It's
Oh my God. Science is the establishment of cause and effect based on naturally observed phenomena. It's not how much bloody Brenda time there is in a table based on how much time it's spent in her kitchen. This is nonsense. That's not science, you total moron. You're just insulting us.
that's why teaching your children flat Earth is.
That's why being a globehead retard is definitely detrimental for your children. How dare she thou spew that us explaining to her that time's a concept about half a dozen different times, and her telling us that she can qualify how much space-time there is in a table, is a justification for telling us that we abuse our children when we explain what level means. No, Brenda, never have children, because it's not going to work out well for them with you telling them that a shoe is a phenomena. Yeah, you would be abusing your children by telling them that science is telling them that a phenomena is a shoe, or that you can qualify how much time there is in a table by how much time it's spent in your kitchen. Don't abuse children by ever talking them to them about anything ever, Brenda. You just by talking to children would be abuse.
You not being able to
Shut up. Don't ad hom me. I've just demonstrated how stupid you are. No, you don't get the opportunity to just ad hom the shit out of me, you complete retard. Don't ever talk to children. Your words will infect them and make them less able to be able to process things sensibly. Your presence around them will make them stupid.
So you're confused about the distinction
Brenda
between
can
the
get kids
noumenal
anymore, but
and the phenomenal, right? That's your confusion.
Brenda,
Immanuel Kant made a
Brenda
distinction
literally
between
said
the
you can
nominal
measure the
and the
space time in a
Hold on.
table. Like, you're ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're not even.
You know, if you
Right.
just
Well, it probably only would work if there was a donut on the table, though.
But
Brenda,
was it? But the donut, the hole in the donut was space time, wasn't it, Brenda? So now you have the
Yeah,
space time in the table
yeah, it's
and in the
composed
hole
of
in the
that.
donut. How does that work?
I hear there's this artist that actually, what is it? Plasters edibles into tables. Maybe that has something to do with it.
can we
Depends how
get
long.
back to the actual statement Bev made? Level is a straight line on a horizontal plane. That is not teaching flat Earth. That is talking about what level is. Is that child abuse?
Of course not.
Yeah, that's not the definition of level. Level means perpendicular to the surface of the Earth.
You want to bring that up? Can you post that in live stream? Do you want to post that in live stream? Let's see where you got that from.
Let's go ahead and share screen. Let's go over level. Oh boy. All
Pulling up that
right.
citation, Brenda.
It looks like QE's
No, we're
beat
gonna
you
go
to
over
it.
level right here.
Okay.
I got it 4. Level is flat. They're mutually exclusive. From Merriam-Webster, level, to make a line or surface horizontal. To make flat or level. Synonyms: even, flat, flush, plane. These are all Merriam-Webster. Level, flat, plane, even, smooth means having a surface without bends, curves, or irregularities. Let's get some more. Dictionary.com. Level, having no part higher than another, having a flat or even surface. Level, being in a plane parallel to the plane of the horizon. Horizontal. Level, to make a surface level, even, or flat. From Cambridge, level, not rising or falling or higher on one side, but even in all directions. Horizontal or flat. Level, something that is level with something else is at the same height. Level, to make a surface flat. There you go.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
using the physics definition, number 10 under the Wiktionary entry. It's the physics definition used by physicists means physics
Really?
perpendicular to gravity. That's what level means.
Can you
in
please cite
physics.
that? Can you
Post
please cite that?
Yeah, post it in
Brenda.
live stream, please.
Thanks.
I said it's in Wiktionary, and it's
Sorry, can I
the
just
10th definition.
Yeah, would that be a plumb bob though? That would be perpendicular to a vertical, would it? Like a plumb bob? Is that how you would say whatever you're saying? Would a plumb bob tell you the direction of what you're talking about?
The plumb bob indicates the direction of gravity.
And would that be a vertical?
It's a vertical line that would indicate that the surface.
Yeah. So what's Brenda? What's perpendicular to a vertical, please?
It's not perpendicular to a vertical. That's not what it is.
What was it perpendicular to then, please?
You just said
gravity.
Hold on.
The gravity is a plumb bob, is it?
No, gravity.
Gravity is not a plumb bob.
Hold on, QE. Just Bev and Brenda, please.
Gravity is not a plumb bob.
No. So how would you determine what you call that thing? The direction of gravity
So a plumb bob would indicate the direction
of
gravity.
Right. So what would be vertical, wouldn't it? Because that's what a plumb bob is in reality when we use it.
A plumb bob indicates the direction of gravity.
Vertical,
right?
yeah.
He just keeps on saying the same thing over and over again. Gravity. We just went over gravity, right? There is no gravity.
It's a vertical, isn't it? That's what a plumb bob does, Brenda. And perpendicular to vertical is a horizontal, isn't it? So even in your statement, you are saying horizontal. You do realize that, don't you?
The way you would measure if something is level is by using you would use a carpenter's level, right? And you would align it with, say, the 2x4, the piece of wood, and it would be perpendicular because it would line up. The bubble would line up between the two marks, right? It would indicate that it is perpendicular to the force of gravity. The plumb bob indicates the direction of
gravity. Doesn't exist.
Gravity's not Brenda, we covered this yesterday. Gravity's not a force.
Yeah,
you just said it was perpendicular. Sorry, hold on, Bev. We covered this yesterday, Brenda. You said it was perpendicular to the force of gravity. Gravity's not a force. We went over this yesterday.
It is. It's a vector. Gravity is a vector.
Brenda, we covered this on this show. Space-time is a concept.
No, it's not. It's physical.
Yes, it is.
and it gives a vector.
Brenda, may I remind you that you've told us that the amount of time in a particular area, in this case, an example, a table, is the amount of time it spends in your kitchen. So let's not be qualifying how real space-time is when you can't show us beyond a qualification of how much time a table spent in your kitchen. That's not really scientific evidence of gravity, and gravity's qualified by your priests as not a force. So this plumb bob is definitely not perpendicular to the force of gravity. Let's just get that clear. Feel free to continue, Bev.
Okay, so no, see, a plumb bob is a tool in reality that is used by people, and what it does is it indicates.
What does it indicate? What does it indicate?
Vertical.
What does a plumb bob indicate?
A vertical, Brenda.
Right. It indicates the direction of gravity. Right.
No, Brenda. I'm going to kick you out. You didn't acknowledge what I said. We said it to you yesterday. It's not a force. Your own priests say, George Musa quote, gravity is not a force. Now, you can think of it as a force. You can. That doesn't mean it is, or that anything's being forced perpendicular to anything else with this force, because it's not a force. Now, I appreciate that you're following instructions from George Musa. You're thinking of it as a force because he told you to. Now, we're not being told by George Musa to think of gravity as a force. We can think of it as roast chicken, but we're not going to be. Now you are, and we're telling you, it's not a force, it's a concept you've reified. Stop asserting this. If you say it a third time, I'll kick you out because you're wrong. Nothing's being forced perpendicular to anything by gravity. You are wrong. It's not a force.
Gravity is not a force.
Yep,
It
that's
is the
correct.
bending of space-time.
So let's
which
not worry
gives
about what's forcing
objects
anything
within the
perpendicular. We don't need to
gravitational
rehash
field
this,
a
Brenda.
vector.
Brenda, we don't need to rehash this. We discussed it earlier. We don't need you to reify all over us how you take this concept of space-time and tell us that we've got a gravity well with an assumed R-value sphere Earth being pulled to the bottom of it. Your concepts and ideas about how the world works don't bother us because they're not physical and actual and real. And you don't have a force pulling this plumb bob perpendicular. So let's just move on with Bev's point, not spew back into your concepts of space-time. We don't need to hear it. Your fantasies are irrelevant. We're talking about things being perpendicular. Go ahead, Bev.
Well, I think it's pretty simple. Like a perpendicular is defined within Euclidean geometry as a line that meets another line, a straight line that meets a straight line at right angles. Would you agree with that, Brenda?
Yeah, that's what it means. At right angles to.
So one straight line has to meet another straight line perpendicular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So eye level.
That's it.
Eye level would be an example, right?
An example of what? Sorry.
What you just said.
Eye level would be an example of perpendicular.
Yes. Right.
How?
Correct.
Perpendicular.
You don't
what?
understand that? You don't understand that? You just explained it. What are you talking about? How
Hold
can
on,
you
hold
not
on. There's been some
understand that?
confusion. He's not agreeing
Brenda.
with you. Hold on, Bev. He's asking you for further qualification as opposed to agreeing with you, Brenda. There's a slight upward inflection.
Well, see, so you said, okay, so I can explain that. So perpendicular means at right angles, right, to the force of gravity, to the
No, it
pulling of the
doesn't.
force of
I'm going to
gravity.
kick her out.
So eye
Now,
level-
hold on.
eye
Anybody
level is
object? I'm going to kick her
perpendicular.
out.
Yeah, get her out of here.
Bev.
So yeah.
Bev.
Hey,
You
Bev,
object?
we should debate sometime. We should
Brenda,
debate sometime.
I've told you.
Yeah, I
Now
don't
let's just
think
tell her
it'll
why
be a
she's
big
leaving
debate,
because
would
she
it?
will cry
See you-
foul.
See you, Brenda.
And all right, Brev's in agreement that you're going to be being kicked out,
I
Brenda.
destroy you. I destroy
Brenda,
you.
Brenda, on
You're an
3
imbecile.
separate occasions, I've told you not to
Oh, right,
reassert
yeah.
your reification of gravity being a force. And every time it comes to you describing something being perpendicular, you insert your reified force. Now, it's also been explained to you that this is Euclidean, 3 space. So there's no space-time, there's no fourth dimensional time in this. But you're utilising fourth dimensional space-time in the form of gravity. It's just been explained to you. Not gravity. Not pseudo-Riemannian 4 space, Euclidean 3 space. But you've agreed and then substituted in a completely different mathematics to give you a non-force. So, bye-bye, Brenda. You've done it 3 times. I've now explained why you're not playing fair. You're just reifying your concepts all over us. So, bye-bye. Take it elsewhere to other fundies who will just nod along when you reify concepts the way they like to reify them also. We don't have to reify this into a force because a man said you can think of it as a force. We don't. We work at the really is level here. We work with physics and the physical, not with the conceptual and the mathematical. Bye-bye.
Take it back to Jose Retard's channel, okay? Because you're one of the Supreme Council panel members over there. Right? Take it back there. Wow.
Arwin, did you have something to add? I shut you down right at the beginning of that.
It's just she was so all over the place again. You know, it just gets created. Brenda really is just mostly a philosopher, in my opinion, and she just fools around with it and tries to
Philosopher?
imagine like she's a scientist, but it's all just.
Philosopher in the Elmer Fudd range.
She's completely
Well, philosophy can
incoherent.
go anywhere, you know. So
Yeah, Elmer Fudd direction.
Yeah.
right.
It's not even Xeno levels.
Xena? As in Warrior Princess?
Xeno. No, Xeno.
It's a warrior princess.
I think with what this is exposing here is the black swans put them on the back foot. They've lost geometry, and they're searching for some geometry, and Euclidean isn't going to help them in the slightest. So they're going to be fumbling for quite a long time, I would imagine.
I don't know. It really depends on how well they can keep the cognitive dissonance going concerning reality versus models, which can also be conceptual medium based models. So as long as they can keep those two mixed up in their minds, they can do pretty much anything. It'll make no sense, but they would be able to keep going.
Yeah, they can keep going, and we'll keep exposing them to everyone and their sister for the crayon munching retards that they are.
Yeah.
Paul, did you want to present something? I've got your screen up if you did.
Yeah, I'm just saying is I'm actually controlling, just so you know, I'm controlling the geometric horizon. Watch. It's disappearing and of course moving, I'm controlling it. That's all. That's wanted to show you this. Every time I change the temperature, the horizon moves. So this geometric horizon, I can control it with temperature. That's the only thing I was going to say.
Is that the geometric horizon in the left picture?
I don't know what it is.
That's not the geometric horizon in the left picture, Holmes. Not at 1 foot.
I know. Well, I know, but it's moving. At one point it's here, and then I change the temperature, and it moves way out there. Well, actually, it didn't show up on that one, on the left one. The left one's supposed to be the globe. The right one is the flat Earth. But all I'm doing is changing temperature, fluctuating.
That's not the geometric horizon in the left-hand picture.
Oh, I know. This is a reification because it's a simulator. But
no, if this is at 1 foot, that's not 1.22 miles away from the observer. Is it 1 foot?
I'm not sure what I haven't figured out how to do the observation height. All I can do is show them. All I can do is play with the temperature. Like, I don't know if you can see this. There's like altitude meters 1 foot, or like 0 meters above the surface of the water. I can adjust the temperature. I can change the target, like the target off in the distance. So I can change it here, which I have played with that a little bit. I don't know if the height is on here either.
While you're having a fiddle and a look for that, I'm going to shout out a couple of super chats. So shout out to Alexander. He says, "My table weighs 2 hours." Thank you very much for the super chat, Alexander. Yeah, my table weighs 16 hours, so my table's better. Thank you for the super chat once again. Also, Just Jack Flat Earth sends me $10 and says, "At Nathan Oakley, I posted my mockery song about our horizon. Links in your email." So he's been in touch with me saying I'm going to get a song together or a poem together in regards to our horizon, who art in geometrics. So I'll look out for that, Just Jack. Hopefully I'll get to listen after the show's finished. So thank you very much for letting me know, though. Really appreciate your support. If you've uploaded it to YouTube, I'll see if I can get a link mirrored or something so you can get some people come and actually check out your channel. But if you haven't uploaded it, upload it. Thank you very much for the super chat. Just Jack Flat Earth.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know how to adjust the height, so I don't know how to do that. I did observer on this. I don't think you set it up for that. So, but this temperature can cause the horizon to do a lot of wonderful things according to the own simulator. Just temperature. I'm only changing one value here. Notice purpose. Actually, oh wait a minute. Didn't looks like the oil rigs are behind the horizon with this slight temperature variation on a flat surface. That's interesting.
I would say that's pretty close on the left to the claimed geometric horizon, what it would look like, right?
Yeah.
At 1 foot.
I mean, it's just crazy. I've been playing with this for days, and this is what it looks like when they actually, when you first get it. I will say this. This is when you click on the oil rigs. This is what they give you, which is slightly deceptive. They do the globe on both sides, and they do, on the left one it shows custom, then on the right it shows standard. If you put the flat Earth, you change it, and you put the same values in they show. That's what happens. So,
Yeah, it's not reality anyway. It's just something in the friggin' program that he's programmed. You don't have all the variables taken in account. Why? Because you don't have them. Walter Bisland, he's been playing too. He's been playing with himself for about 3 years now.
well, and that's the argument I'm making to the Globers now, because when they start showing pictures, I say, hey, have you got all the temperature variations going on there? And you know what they always say? I hear it all the time. Zanuck says it a lot. We don't need them. That's their standard argument. We don't need them. We just need observation. And we're like, really? If you play with your own simulator, you have to have them to make your observation, to even determine what observation you're making. So,
yeah, this is just a circle jerk.
Yep, exactly. So that's the point I wanted to make. This is just a reification. That's all it is.
Cool. Quick shout out to Matthew Stevenson. He says, I would like to purchase a redundant horizon next to my lakeshore property on the moon. Also, Brenda is at dawn level. Keep up the great work, FED team. That would mess up our arbitrary...
The rate scale.
Yeah, that would mess up our scale.
Scale. You got problems with that scale.
Yeah, that scale might need readjustment anyway.
We all appreciate that the scale was meaningless and just for fun.
Yep.
But we can spend 20 minutes adjusting it if we wish. Yes.
But we can think about it like it's not. And it was real.
Think about it like it's really important. Loads of people have moaned and said that dawn level shouldn't be dawn level, it should be Sean Hawkins level. And now we've got Brenda being classified as a dawn level. That's a complete paradox now within the scale. It doesn't work at all.
Yeah, there's only one level. It's the Brenda level, and there's different variations of the theme outside the little bell curve there. But that's the level.
So they're all at Brenda level. So Brenda becomes the default level.
Yes.
I see.
Which in their world is literally curved.
But Bev, are you still there? Because that whole discussion started as a result of you being described as a child abuser for describing level, right?
Yeah.
What an outrage!
Yeah, it triggers them tremendously, doesn't it?
I give you a lot of props, man. I dealing with that guy again the way he did. Kudos to you, bro. Because I have no respect for that guy as a human. The way he treats people and talks about people's kids. That's just not cool, man.
He's an abject retard.
Yeah.
He is an abject retard. If P equal Q.
He said that was a joke last night. He will not talk about that in the debate because he said that's a joke. But I mean, it exposes him with the logic. He doesn't understand logic. He doesn't understand geometry. He doesn't understand the meaning of words.
He doesn't understand science, that's for sure.
He doesn't understand science. I mean, he did get triggered last night at me mentioning that I was doing the salted water egg experiment. Like, I think that's triggered one of his tirades because that's teaching children. I don't know. You know what? He just likes to call people child abusers for no reason. I think we do need to have a conversation about what people are teaching children and whether people are allowed to just call people names for it.
Yeah, they're the child abusers.
Yeah,
Bev, I think I listened to the show last night, Bev, and they timed me out of chat. They wouldn't let me in chat, and I didn't ad hom anybody, and they were ad homing me, as you saw later. But he's just projecting. I think maybe he has been through some troublous times. So
oh
he's
God,
calling...
no! Can we not do this?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Let's not do this,
all
please.
Right.
I was that close to stopping it before now. Look, we're now guilty of something that I summed up in the pre-show. Let's not make these baseless assertions. It's different when Brenda's here and you can get her to qualify what she means and try and at least try and expand on it. And unless you can qualify some of these examples that you're giving, they're just baseless assertions at this point. Now, I'm not saying they're not true.
I won't go further, but what I was saying, and I won't go further in my explanation, is that in my life, when I accuse someone of something, I've either experienced it myself or I've experienced someone else's situation. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's give some cowbell. I already gave one. If P equals Q. That's one. Here's another one. In less than 15 seconds, Fight the Fat Girth moron said a hypothesis is an explanation and then said a hypothesis isn't an explanation. There's some cowbell for you.
See, that'll accept. See, the if P equals Q, that I would let. That's like majoring on the minors. Minor mistake.
No, that's a major mistake when you're putting if P then Q, because if P equal Q is saying if P is Q.
Yeah. But did you hear the rest of that actual... he went, here is my modus tollens. And then he wrote the whole thing out. It wasn't just the if P equals Q, but it was the rest of the whole thing.
Well,
it was a totally
the rest of the whole thing was based on
statement
P equal Q.
Okay, let me just ask a couple of questions. When he actually formulated the logic in that manner, did he say if P equals Q? Did he actually say that?
He wrote it.
I can get it. I can put it in the...
but did he say it?
He wrote it down.
I know he wrote it down. I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm asking, did he write equals and say then?
Let me find it.
Yeah, I'll get it for you.
If he verbalized it,
wasn't very pleasant.
If he verbalized it in the way it's written, I'll say this isn't majoring on the minors. He's a moron. However, if he just wrote equals and was saying if P then Q and just wrote an equals sign, then it's no big deal. Now, his other statement...
If P equals Q, there it is. It's in the live stream now.
But did he say it?
Do you want me to read it out for you? Or
the transcript?
Do you want to look at it?
I want to see that. I want to hear him say it. Because if he's just written equals and said if P then Q, then that's a minor formatting error. That I would... It's just majoring on the minors, something I criticised them for doing on us.
All right,
in light of me.
Here's what he said.
Go ahead, QE.
Yeah.
Hold on, Bev. Go ahead, QE.
My modus tollens, if P equal Q, not P, then not Q.
He said that. Those were his words.
He wrote it.
I know he wrote it. I'm getting nowhere fast here.
Yeah. Carry on with the rest of it, though. Work it through.
You want a soundbite as opposed to a...
I want to know if he just wrote equals because he didn't... It was his version of shorthand for then.
I got it on screen.
No.
Oh, here we go. Are you going to show me what he's written? I know he's written it down. Nobody's getting my point.
Mm-hmm. He won't have the conversation about it so you can find out what he actually meant because he said that was a joke.
Okay, well, it remains slightly spurious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that the next statement that was read out, on the other hand, is akin to the stupidity level of Dr. Phil Bell, who said, a hypothesis, and then in all capitals, is not a prediction, end quote. Professor, very questionable, Phil Bell, 2020. Now that's just stupid, on another level stupid, especially when you've got the tag of professor. But his statement in Fight the Flat Earth's instance was to say that a hypothesis is not a prediction, and then like 5-10 seconds later say it is a prediction. Well, that's just stupid.
I put in Master Beast for you if you want to pull it up.
Yeah, I had it on screen a second ago.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay. No, thank you for posting it.
Can I qualify the geometry bit then?
Go ahead.
You know, he has the Miles Davis photo where he looks over at a suspension bridge from a certain height, and it says on it, the eye height of the camera is 210 meters and the top of the bridge is 210 meters and the eye going over is level and horizontal. So the vertical height would be taken at 210 meters. So that would be two verticals touching a horizontal distance across the top. That would be two right angles, and the sea level part that they were 210 meters above would make a shape of a rectangle with 4 right angle.
What? Hold on. What you've just described is something a flat earther would say.
Yes, I know. He said it last night, and I got him to qualify it 3 times to make sure he knew what he was saying. And he said that 3 times.
Did you
with
welcome
his Miles Davis photo?
Did you welcome him to flat Earth?
Well, I thought I'd just let it go because he wouldn't be able to take it. But yeah, he's there already. That's the OLR.
That highlights one of the issues that's been made more prevalent by the Black Swan, which is to say that they need to perform geometry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are not performing geometry. They got donkey dick tangent, haven't they?
They've got nothing. Yeah. In fact, actually, that was one of the things he said. He was talking about his eye level, and he kept saying it was a tangent. And I said, it's just eye level. It's a straight line. Why do you keep putting a curve there, turning it into a tangent? He had no answer for it, because that's what they do. Imaginary curves touching straight lines.
There's another one of his jokes in Master B. Let's go over this joke.
We'll be going over it tonight on Emma's channel. So
I'll just pop it out. It's on screen. Go ahead.
So, Bite the Fat Girth, looking at the Black Swan photo, says, "Oh, look, a positive coefficient of refraction." Let's just take that statement right here. Does Craig the Fat Girth moron have a refractometer in his eyes? Huh? Let's look at a more train wreck. So MC Scorpio says, can you give me the math of that, of his coefficient of refraction? The Fat Girth, yes, if you give me the lapse rate in that picture. So what's the problem here? Anyone?
He already had the coefficient before he even had the math.
The first problem is he has a refractometer in his eyes. The second problem is for him to make this statement, the look of positive coefficient of refraction, he would already have had to know the lapse rate.
And with that, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley channel, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Another massive thank you to today's Discord and G+ panels for making this live show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on the premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!